Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Factual Flight Brothers. My name's Brian. That's my brother Adam, and we have a fun-filled episode for you guys. Lots to talk about. We're going to talk about controversial topics like tree collision. We're going to tell you what I've been up to. We're going to go through the village update. There's a bunch of other stuff as well. We're just going to be talking all about Wurm. So stay tuned. We'll have some fun. We'll be right back. Alright, we're back. Today's video, we are back in the Labyrinth, and we're going to be actually going into the mines again and kind of flesh that out a bit. I mean, there's really only two things we have to do left, right? This labyrinth's pretty well completed.
It's very close.
Yeah, and it's just the castle and the mine. Castle and mine.
There is some decoration that needs to happen. Yeah.
There's more than just some decoration. I'm talking about like
Yeah.
the completion of the actual labyrinthy part, and then we can
Right.
start getting people to come in and like testing how hard it is while we do decorations. Although we need a lot of help on decorations, we're not very good. But
And
what have we
clean
been doing? And clean up. Oh my God, we're gonna have a lot of cleanup. I don't know how we're gonna take care of that as we box
Slowly but
ourselves
surely.
into the labyrinth.
Slowly but surely.
Oh, that just sounds like a good theme for all of Wurm. Slowly but surely.
Yep.
What have we been doing? Let's take a look. So since the last video, we've been working. I know I've been working on the castle quite a bit. We did finally not finish. We realized a couple things. So you can see here, I finished a lot more than what was done before. I did most of the walls down at the bottom level of this side of the castle. I didn't finish all of the floors, and that's mainly because I feel like we're gonna have to build some more ladders to go up because
Right.
of a couple things that I realized. The first thing was, when I made Autumn Twilight, there was no way to cross two floors that were diagonally connected.
Right.
Am I saying, or like only 2 points were connected?
Maybe
Apparently,
you can show. Is there a place that you can show?
there is not.
Oh.
But there is.
Even if you climb up these stairs. I'm
There
sure
is some here. No, there's nowhere to go. Maybe there's. Let's see. No,
Right?
no,
There's
there's
nowhere
not.
to go. But like if two see all these floating floors? Like imagine if two floating floors were just touching
Like
by
here, if another floor was on this other corner, this tile here, on this floor, there was no way. If you tried to cross over that, you would fall through, right? So when I built this labyrinth, I thought, well, that must still be the same way. I didn't test it. I don't have floors like that. So I built a whole bunch of puzzles based on the fact that you cannot walk over and you would just fall through.
Right.
But now you can just walk over it.
So
And
it's-
then I thought, oh, I don't know where that came in, but that just ruins a whole bunch of stuff going on in this labyrinth. And I can't actually, and there are a couple in this building that now I can't get to, because in order to get there, we have to be in the other side of the second labyrinth building or castle, and we haven't built that yet. The second reason I can't finish the bottom here is because then I realized, because I can't get to all of these areas, like these doors, there's a door here, there's supposed to be bridges to the other side which are not done, right?
Right.
You can see here.
Right.
Well, I need someone to stand at all these places to build the bridges, and you currently can't stand at all those places. So I figured if I built the floors, then that means I can't get a cart up there, because it
This place
stops.
is gonna look
Well, you can get a
awesome.
cart up there, you just can't get the cart back down.
When all the bridges are in place, this little alleyway out here
It's gonna look
is
really
going
nice,
to look
right?
amazing. Yeah, totally. There's like balconies up there.
Look at this. Every single tile should have a bridge leading from one side to the other. Every single one.
Yeah.
There's one.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the way to the back with this one. On purpose. Yeah, we did that. I hope it's gonna look really nice.
Is there
I'm not
anything?
sure.
What's the other building look like? I guess
So
all ladders.
The other building I just started, in the sense, what are we on the 3rd level now?
One thing I noticed about this first floor is that there's no other door except for that one that we just came into.
That's correct. Maybe I should have built a door just so that we could get in and out, like a maintenance door.
Yeah, then you'd lock it later.
Yeah, you know what I realized? We had the mortar, we had the bricks, the marble bricks, and I'm like building it up, and all of a sudden I ran out of planks. And I'm like, I wasn't even thinking about planks because I'm not thinking that I need tons of ladders.
Right.
And then I had no more planks, so I had to kind of stop. And we're like, had to find logs, and then we had to start making planks, and then
so we're gonna have to spend some time either making some planks, or I think we can make those.
Yeah.
Shouldn't need that many.
I made some, and we have maybe 200 at the moment around, but it's not enough.
Yeah, we can sit there for 20 minutes.
This is not bad, right? We're on this floor. We only have 1, 2, 3 more levels to go, and every level the place will get smaller. I'm pretty sure it's just kind of very similar to the other side, so it just mirrors what's going on over there. It should be fun. Yeah, that bashing part in the episode, the unexpected bashing party, went okay. I heard that if they just used a carving knife, they could have destroyed it in one shot, even though they're not part of the village.
I totally thought that, but I didn't push the issue.
Yeah, it's okay. I might have to test that at some point.
Yeah.
But here we are. That's what we did here. The other thing that I did here was there's the slate building that we've been using as our kind of, I don't know, hideout, our storage place where we're just sitting there. It's like a big mess. It's not supposed to be a big mess. It's just supposed to be a nice, open, kind of mysterious building.
Right.
Very mysterious building that we've been using as just a basic hideout. Look at this place. This is going to be our biggest cleanup, I think, out of everywhere.
Totally.
So I started building it up. Like, instead of having ladders, we now have that slate floors, and
right above me is that corner.
Yeah, this corner. You weren't able to walk across this before, and now you can. So gonna have to figure out ways around that. Started making the slate walls here and the ladders, and there's a whole bunch going on in this building now. Now really it only needs the ground floors. I haven't done that yet.
Can I get up here and get onto that platform?
Yes,
Probably
you can. Yes, you can, actually.
Yes, I'm just gonna get hurt.
You will get hurt. There you go. Oh, look at that. You just, that was a lot of blood for falling.
Okay, let's see.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
See that?
I just crossed it, and
You
totally
never used to
beat
be able
your
to do
labyrinth.
that. Ah, well. Anyway, yeah, this building's actually kind of cool. Another thing that I started doing was making door locks. We hadn't made one door lock.
Right.
And I started putting locks on all these doors.
Actually, if I can interrupt you for just a second, I'm seeing something that's amazing. It's
Where?
like a
What?
stream of light. If I look at these doors, I see a stream of light, like very thin.
I see one, but it moves as I move.
And that's the problem. It's moving as I...
That's an odd effect. Why is it moving as I look left and right? I don't know.
But it looks amazing if I'm standing still. Like, I see it, I'm like, wow. But yeah, there's something wrong with how the light is.
I must say, every time I log into the game, and I'm especially in our village or something, the shadows, or I'm in a forest, the shadows just, I don't know, they're so amazing to me. Like, look at even here right now when we started the video, when it's raining, the shadow on top of this bridge right now, like, or below the bridge, and then you see the light on the top. It's just, yeah, can't say enough.
Yeah, it looks amazing.
Anyway, so that's what I've been doing. And we also did a bunch of stuff in the mines. So since that's where we're going to be heading, let's go there and take a look what we're doing. And as we're going down there, and I know that we started with the mine, and we said this is going to be a fun little kind of venture when you go into the mine system, and you know, have a nice little story, have some fun, try to get out of it. We know in the Labyrinth, it was called, like, in the Labyrinth movie, when she fell into like this mine area, it was called like the oubliette. And it kind of had like a little puzzle to get out of the oubliette, and then went through the little cave where the cave walls were like telling her, do not go this way, like all those things.
Turn back
this
now.
This is not the way. The path that you take is, it was like really we thought we were just gonna do something like that, something fun. Then we went a little crazy.
Already I think this, like, how this is turning out, like, just look up from here. And that's how high we are, and then we come up this way.
Like, just to give you guys like a little, like, what we were thinking here. Remember when she leaves that oubliette area, when she leaves the cave system, they have to climb a ladder up. So this is like the ladder that they climb. It's our version anyway. And that's why after they get to the top, you're out of this cave. So right now you're seeing the exit. We're coming in through the exit, if we had to say that. Anyway, hello.
There's Nisili.
So we're going this way. Yeah, it's much more thorough than I thought it would be.
It goes right to the end there. We can even like make it turn left and right if we want.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I believe we had this in the video before when we were building this, or doing something with this.
I love how this is like turning out. You go down,
and then you keep going down, and you keep going down. That's what, whoa, okay. And then I believe in another video we started this, and then we didn't get very far. But now here it is. This is kind of like the center hub of part of the cave area, and
as you can see,
so
there are several ways to go.
It's hard for you guys to see. Do you have a light?
Oh yes, I do.
Let me see if I do.
So our plan is that,
there we go, a bit better.
I have no tar.
There's a bunch of ways to go, essentially.
Now the idea is that each one of these is going to have a building, and it's going to be, see how this one's planned out right here? Standing, right? Each one's going to be like that, so it's going to look like just like a storefront. What I was thinking, we could raise the middle of this, make it look like a chamber. But still have it this height.
We need that height at the walls.
Once you step in, you're going to see that it's going to be like a big drop shaft. Like there's a big drop area.
You can't see that it's a huge drop shaft from out here, and then every single building will be like a different wall type. That's our plan. Are there that many wall types? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Are there 8 different kinds? If we use all the different kinds of rock, of bricks, rounded,
we would
rendered,
slate, marble, rounded, regular stone bricks, and then there's timber and wooden. That's
true. Not that we have any planks or any of that stuff. marble. Yeah, I'm sure we can
Well,
figure out like 8 different kinds. So when you're in this room and you do go through one of them, you kind of can keep track of, yeah, I went through the marble one. Let's try the timber one this time.
right.
There'll be little stories going on at the same time that will help you. If you solve a puzzle or something down here, it'll help you pick which way to go, that sort of thing.
Right.
We're still debating on how much we should do, how much we should give away, depending on how long it's going to take people to get through this.
Right.
We'll
if,
see.
if we're finding people are like taking way too long to get through the whole thing, we might make it easier by giving more hints.
Yeah. Do you want to start off by mining this stuff up? Can't quite see what
ceiling?
I'm doing. Yeah.
Sure. I guess all of the rock shards. Is that right?
Sorry?
Did all the rock shards decay?
They did, yeah.
Yeah.
We mined this whole place out and saw the rock shards gone.
Yeah. Okay,
Let's
so let's start mining
here.
So now I'm going to experience. Let's see if my chance on my pickaxe go down today. That's in the game now.
Yeah. Have to make sure we're not doing the wrong one.
Yeah. Yeah.
How many do we
away
need
from
to
the
do?
wall, right?
Yeah. I guess we'll just go up as high as we can, and that should be good enough.
Yeah, it'll make it look nice and vaulted.
All right. So actually, before we get started on that,
Okay.
I guess there's a whole bunch of stuff that keeps getting announced in the news.
Right.
What are the most recent changes that are going to be into the game?
Right. So
around
we're coming
when
up
this video
to
comes
an
out.
update, and by the time this gets released onto YouTube,
The update's probably going to be out, or
probably
close
going
to be out.
Yeah, it's probably going to be out.
So what's the main things in this update that's coming?
Essentially, there's a few main things, like, for example, tree collisions, and
yeah, that's a big topic. We're definitely going to talk about that.
And as well, protection for horse gear on branded horses when they die, specifically when they die.
So there wasn't protection before?
No, it was like when the horse died, if it was off deed, let's say you're like out and about, your horse dies,
instantly you lose permission.
Anybody can come and take the horse gear. There's no like protection like would be on a corpse of a person.
So that's pretty big. That will help the adventurer in all of us.
Oh yeah, totally.
Because we've been talking quite a while about all the different shortcomings of traveling in this game, right? There's always something that makes it so it's like really dangerous to travel. This will help big time, I think.
Right.
I mean, other than now you've lost a horse and you have to walk everywhere, but you'll still have the gear.
Right, but there is something that's kind of weird about it. Like they kind of tacked in at the end that they said that. Let's see if I'll just read it.
Okay.
Due to the way the corpses work, this will only last until the next reboot. So if you lose them out, be sure to collect your gear before the next time the server goes down.
The next reboot of the server.
Right. So if you don't collect your gear in time, it will revert to your...
Just to be clear, how often does the server get rebooted?
I mean, if the server doesn't get rebooted after a week, that would be considered a long time.
So let's say roughly we can be like, server will probably reset every week at some point.
Yeah, probably. Let's look to see what it is right now. You can check this by doing /uptime. Oh wow, it's been 16 days currently.
Oh wow,
since the last reboot. However, there are times where you'll see several reboots happen, and it usually happens around patches, where like
I see
update will happen, and then wait a minute, we gotta like fix something that went wrong, and then I guess it can be up to 16 days. They're for sure going to be
been a
bringing it
couple
down.
weeks right now.
5 days from now is going to be the next update.
Yeah.
So that makes it so that'll be 21, so that'll be 3 weeks.
That's 5 days from when we're recording this video and not when we released it. Got to keep track.
That's actually pretty good that it can go 16 days now without getting us. I kind of remember after about
like amazing
a week. Yeah, after about a week, it used to like start lagging the server. Like the server would be like hiccuping.
Yeah, it's pretty good, right?
Yeah, pretty good. 16 days. I'm impressed.
All right, so other than impressible server uptime, you have the permissions on the horses that will stay after its death, so that you can get its gear, which is great.
Right.
What else is coming out in this update?
Tapestries. The new tapestries.
Oh, the new
awesome.
Tapestries. Yes, they do.
These
We're gonna have to build some in this castle somewhere.
Yeah, for sure. These are the player created ones that were.
They had the competition. Did they create 3 of them? Is that what it is? They picked 3 of them, right?
They picked 3 of them. There were lots, and there were lots of really.
What's your favorites?
Let's take a look at them. I can pick, but I don't think I've spent the time to pick just yet.
I love the one with the dragon. The artwork and like that sort of thing. I think it translates well when it's a drawing into the game, because the tapestries kind of I don't know. See, with the screenshots, they're okay, but it's almost like when you see them on a tapestry, it's like a photo. It's like the Wurm's in-game version of a screenshot. Not a screenshot of like if you took a picture with a camera. Right? Because so or somebody's really good at painting.
Where do I find them? Which weekly news are they in? Do you remember?
I don't remember. I don't know if there's a separate post for it.
Maybe I missed it in a spoiler.
Let's see. Anyway. Fan art competition tapestries. Let's check that. Oh no. I think it was in a news update on which one was
I found it. It was in 35, week 35.
Week 35 for everybody.
That was a big week. The bulk storage bin.
Oh yeah.
Crate crap. We didn't talk about that yet.
We have not. But it's a big one. That's in the game now, right?
Yeah, so, it's something that I would definitely build right away if we were back on our
once we're back at Factional Fight Village.
But this place is such a mess and we're gonna have to clean it up soon anyway. There's no point in building better storage.
All right, my favorite one is definitely. Oh god, they're all really good.
Right, they are all really good. Yeah. Huh.
What I love choose anymore.
What I love about the forest one is that it is an in-game screenshot. But
it is
at the same time, it doesn't look like something that you would normally ever see.
Yeah, but it does kind of look like a painting, which is great.
It does kind of look like a painting, exactly.
It's because there's no like person
and I love
in the shot.
How how it's like wide? Are they wider?
They're like different sizes, yeah.
They're different sizes, yeah.
Depending on.
I wonder how they compare to the original one.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the fact that they didn't crop the pictures that much. Like they kept them more its tradition, whatever size that they received them in. Like the one in the middle is a square, and I like that they didn't try to like compress it into a wide.
Right, and that meant, I guess 2 different textures, wouldn't it have? Not textures, models.
It quite possibly, yeah.
Yeah.
Quite possibly.
I like the wavy tops as well. The wavy tops.
Yeah, I do.
All 3 of them are just amazing. So I like the Libella one is amazing as well.
So
that one...
our choice of our favorite is we like them all. Yeah. What a cop out.
Yeah, I know.
No, that's they're all great.
Yeah.
I must say. Anyway, so that's coming, And of course, the tree collisions is coming, which a lot of people had opinions on. A lot of people.
Yep.
Good
Is that something that
and
we're gonna
bad.
talk about right now, or
we will be discussing that. But first, and I know that in the future, I guess was this the last update before the big update? Is that what he said?
Yeah, and did they say that in those words? I guess
I don't know.
Did.
It's either that or this is like the last feature update before the big update. Maybe there'll be some tweaks before. I don't
they
know.
also changed how eating works.
Oh yeah. As far as like the permission system goes, right? How was that?
Yeah. They make it so that, let's say you're in somebody else's house, and you have permission in that house to, let's see how to put it. It says as long as they have the may open permission.
Right, so they can walk in.
And the may enter building position, like on the building permissions. Yeah. If you have a locked container, and inside that locked container you have food, the person can go into that container and eat the food. However, they will not be able to take anything out of that container.
Yeah, this is great for Impelongs.
Yes.
God, I wish this was the case at Impelongs, right?
Yeah.
Like any big event.
I wonder if that container could be larders, or I guess so, right? They'll be just like go into the larder and grab a bit of food.
Why not?
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's
and I guess if you
crazy.
want to protect your food, let's say you don't want somebody coming in and eating your food, just either have the permission set properly on your house to stop people from coming in, or you can just have a larder that's like in a different building or something like that. Like only put the food in this building that allows people to eat it. I think it's great. It's an awesome change.
Yeah, so those are some great changes. More are coming. More of the big ones coming. They announced like the new skills coming. The new, I don't know, what was the big one? Big update. There's like a whole bunch of stuff. I just read new skill and then I just blanked out because
there's like
my mind's going crazy. Oh, what could that be?
We've been hearing about this one quite some time now, and it's like the new Valray system overhaul, like epic. I don't know if it's like going to be an epic thing. Like, is this the big epic thing? Or I don't know. It didn't say that, but it said the Valray system overhaul. A few more surprises, which they've alluded to. What did they say? They used the soon TM to say, not yet, not sure when.
Maybe in the future sometime. I know that soon. It's not ready, right? They would release it if it was ready. Right. They wouldn't hold it back, but
they're testing it, I'm sure, right now.
Pretty sure it's like in testing. They're still building some stuff. They've got to work out the bugs. Maybe some of the graphics aren't there yet for everything, that sort of thing. Everything's kind of like coming together, but it's not together yet. So other than that, I just had a moment of inspiration mining the ceiling. I feel like there's a rare / something else rock shard on the ground. Rare rock shard. We don't have any way to sack this stuff here, do we? Nope.
Although we
I could make a whole bunch of whetstones and hope for the best. Does it even help? I thought it was like the very last portion of the rock shard that gets eaten up is the one that gets used.
That's what I've heard as well.
I don't know. Things change in this game so often and I never hear about them. So that's how it used to be. Is it still the way? I don't know. Anyway,
some concrete to fix the floor.
So a big update's coming and even more updates coming in the future. They've got I'm sure so many updates lined up.
Yeah,
roughly.
It's kind of insane at the rate at which they're going. It's just it's amazing.
Yeah, I can't wait. But in the meantime, in the meantime, I actually went on a vacation recently.
Oh,
I went to a cottage, and spent time like next to a lake, like in the middle of the forest. When you look out, all you can think is, this looks exactly like Wurm.
Like how secluded was it?
It was like when you look out, it's like completely secluded. All you see is just like not mountains, like big hill rock faces and like trees everywhere. There's just like water, and then it hits the land, and then trees.
Like how far away were you from like adjacent people, or was it just like nobody?
There was other settlements. It's like if Wurm was built up like along the shore.
I was in Wurm real life.
Yeah, it was like people built along the water, but they kept their places kind of secluded. It was next to a provincial park.
Okay, but it was a private land then.
But this was private land, yeah.
Oh.
So we just like rented a cottage, and it was, I don't know. Right. The more that I was doing, I was like canoeing and going out hiking and climbing, and I noticed. Did we just finish that? I noticed some of the stuff in Wurm.
Yeah.
Was like just like right out of Wurm. You look at it, you're like, wow, this reminds me of, the game. This reminds me of Wurm. And there's other things where you're like, I wish this was in Wurm. Why can't we do this in Wurm this way? Or it would like, so I wrote a couple things down. Not that much.
Why don't you come over here and get started? We're gonna get started on this building here.
Yeah, let's do that.
To the next thing that we do. I put mortar on this in this BSB, and there's bricks on this side.
Did you add me to the? So which one do you want to do?
I need to add you. You're right.
Which kind of house do you want to do here?
I already started with regular.
Okay, so this is the regular one.
Now that you're saying it, I feel like we are going to need to go back to get some mats. Because I didn't grab... It's one of each.
That's okay. Yeah, we'll start with this.
Okay.
Ooh, there's actually planks down here. That's good.
Okay, so you were saying...
Yeah, so I wrote down a few notes. Not that many. Just...
Okay.
What I was thinking when I was there. One thing that I love, and I think this might be a limitation to the engine, or something. When you look out, especially from like really high up, let's say I went and I hiked around, and you look out to the distance, it's just covered with trees everywhere. As far as the eye could see. And I know in Wurm that's pretty much the case as well. But there comes a distance in Wurm where the trees just disappear.
Right.
And all you see is the terrain.
Now, I know that they've been working a lot on level of detail stuff.
Yeah. I would love to have some kind of faraway tree.
Right. Even if it's just forest, faraway forest.
Yeah, even if it's just faraway forest that
patch of trees
may or may not actually be there.
Right.
When you get closer.
Right.
It's like a generic, like instead of just seeing generic like terrain far away, we should see forest. I think it would generic give it forest, more lifelike immersion into this game.
Now, speaking of that, one thing that I really would like to see is better transitions as you're approaching an item. I don't know if this is completely unrelated, but it made me think of it.
Like yeah, it's kind of jarring, right? When it goes from the far away level of detail to the closer up level of detail, and it just kind of like there's no transition at all. It's far away, then it's close when you reach the next tile.
It's like
we call it like it's like it like pops, like boom, pop, and in front of your face things don't do that, and like when you see that with your eye, it's just kind of jarring. Another game did that. Like when I was playing Vanguard, the same thing happened. Things were popping in, and then I remember bringing it up, and then all of a sudden the devs at one point just made like a simple fade. They made it so things just fade in or transition. There's like a big fade, and it helped the game out so much until it closed down. But it helped the game out so much, and it might help Wurm maybe if they did like a fade, if that's even possible with the new engine. I don't even know.
So what door are we gonna see here? Like
just do a small
door?
Just do a small
single door.
Yeah, do single door, and then start off the walls. Oh my god, you already finished 2. I haven't even taken anything out of the crates yet.
So no like archway.
No archway, no.
Okay, let's make it a door. Single door.
The rest of them are walls, right? So I'll just get started over here.
Okay, so
Add to crafting. I'm too far away. Add to crafting.
Plain stone door.
And
I made it plain, but should I let it have the border?
You can do plain. That's fine.
But the one that's in here.
Oh, do you want it to have the border? Yeah, you can.
Oh, actually, can the other ones have the border? Like the marble and the slate. Can that have the border?
I don't think so.
So maybe I'll make it plain.
All right. So plain stone wall. Let's do this.
They should make it so you could put that border, that trim is actually nice when placed correctly on a building.
That's true. They would have to go through that and make it work for all the different types. That would be an extra type of wall, right? A completely different texture.
Right.
Since there's no way to actually add just a piece on an already existing texture.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what was the other thing?
Or maybe there is now. I don't know. Okay, so there was a lot of places where the cliff goes 90 degrees or even more. And we just literally can't have that in Wurm because of the way that it works. I don't know. Like, you know how in mines you can do it, right? In mines it's always 90 degrees, like straight up.
Right.
I'd love to see something like that in Wurm. But that's something I don't think that will happen.
I feel like it goes straight up like that because of walls. Like,
yeah. Well, in mines, that's just the way it is, right?
I almost imagine, like, in order to make that work on the top, you'd have to recode everything.
Yeah.
It's a height map, but let's suppose that each tile represented a pillar that was below them.
Yeah.
And each corner of that tile just adjusts, like if you raise or lower it, it'll just adjust the surface of the top of that, pillar.
Yeah.
And then just build the world with a lot of those. You know what I mean? So each corner of each pillar is independent, but now like each corner is like.
Would that make the game too complicated, or do we want that complication? That'd be kind of cool.
That would be kind of cool. Maybe I gave somebody an idea for coding a game, or maybe that idea is already there, and
I don't know.
Just like regurgitating something that I heard, but I don't know.
Yeah, make outside work the same way as mines. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, but I was just looking around, and there were so many places where the rock face was just completely, like, it was so interesting stuff that we can't actually have in Wurm. Wurm's mountains are very round feeling because the way it is. We also have they had pathways that just had steps, right? There's not just in Wurm. It's all just square pathways that we create, even if it's like gravel or something. But we can't put steps on the road. We can't if there's like a little mountain, we have to build like a ramp There's no way to do steps. But I thought, why can't we do that? Why can't we do steps anymore? Like, we already have bridges. We already have stairs. We could create, I don't know, to implement something like that. If, let's say, you create a ramp and that ramp is 20 slope or higher or something like that, you could maybe
when
put...
you say ramp, do you mean like bridge?
No, like a dirt ramp.
Oh, okay.
How about if we had a dirt ramp or something, and you
Okay,
on
so
that dirt ramp, the terrain, you could build steps on that, like rock.
Okay,
You could
it would be kind of like yeah, it would be kind of like you would be adding rock shards or adding bricks.
Yeah, to the ground. To form like steps.
Or maybe you create something and then apply it to the ground like you would wooden panels or whatever.
Yeah, that would
the paving.
Yeah, that would allow for so much more versatility, so much more realism in villages or pathways.
Right.
Like imagine you could do that, or even have something like that coming to like a house or
right.
It would essentially, inside of villages, it would remove the whole dirt ramp and add more stairs going like rock stairs, which we currently don't have. Paths leading up and down different levels.
Right. Imagine you can, if you apply this stuff to the tile, but that tile is like steeper than 20 or steeper than like maybe up to like a maximum of 30 something, whatever.
Yeah.
It allows you to climb up it because it'll sort of like add stairs or steps.
Yeah, and I think we even talked about in the past of a way to be able to turn bridges into like stairs for another type of stair as well.
Right.
Like if the bridge was past a specific incline, steep level of
past 20,
then
but like
when
less
you
than
build
40 or something.
Yeah, you have the ability to turn that bridge into like a stair instead of a bridge.
Right. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. And then, for example, you'd be able to then put one from an outside tile up to a building from the first floor to the second floor. You'd be able to do it in one tile, and it would look like a staircase.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be awesome?
That would be
stuff
awesome.
Like this. You could build a bridge, not even connected to a house at all, and it would just be from the bottom. Did you just say this? The bottom of a mountain to the top of the mountain, right?
No, I said from like the ground floor to the first floor of a building. Across one tile.
Then you could have like stairs. But imagine this is just like from the bottom of a mountain to a top of a mountain or something. Then it turns into stairs, like walking up.
Right.
Not even the bottom of a whole mountain, like a nice hill or whatever, and you wanted to get up it. And that's essentially what we did. Like we climbed the side of this hill, this cliff, this rock face, and it was pretty high, like a mountain. And in order to get up it, people built stairs that went up the side of this cliff. And I thought, why can't we do this in Wurm? Like, we should be able to. I mean, we kind of simulate it with these dirt paths, these dirt ramps that we make.
Right.
But we have the ability. That was before we had the ability to create bridges and have that, and you just turn it into stairs, and all of a sudden we can create such great paths, I think. So how is this going to work? Are we building 4 walls, or are we building 1?
I was planning on building 1.
No, we need at least 2.
Well, I mean,
right? We need that one, and we need this one here. I did that wrong. Because if you look up, you have to build a bridge from this side to that side.
Right, you're right.
Other than that, I don't think that there's other one. I'm not sure.
So we could
not do the one that you're currently doing, unless we didn't finish. I don't know if we didn't finish the you should have the floor plan open, right? And you should know whether we need another direction.
I could check that.
I could check that, or we could just keep building and not have to worry.
We do need to go the other direction too. So this way, we're gonna have to build up this way too.
Okay, so put a wall thing there. We'll do that. Here's some stone bricks. Where's some mortar here? There's some mortar. I am good to go.
Yes, this is gonna get interesting.
Add that one. Plain stone wall. All right. All right. So yeah. So that. So yeah, pathways that would have steps. But there's rocks everywhere, like big rocks, small rocks. I wonder if Wurm could create items on the. I don't know how much lag this would make, but just in certain areas of Wurm, you could just have rocks, different kinds of rocks lying around that could be harvestable. So instead of needing to go into a mine to mine rock or like some iron or whatever, you just have little patches just kind of lying around that make the world seem more wildernessy. I don't know. That's a bad word. Like
it may increase
more like
lag.
nature.
I don't know. It's hard to say.
Or if you know how there's
Like
sometimes
nice.
Rocks just kind of appear on the ground,
Right?
and they do nothing.
Yeah.
But imagine they were there, and it was just another thing that you could harvest, but don't make it targetable like trees, like how trees are. You make it so the tile itself has the ability then to mine that rock away. So you just go to the rock, and then we just, because it's already in the game, right? Just
right. It's there.
Just make it a little different.
But then making it do something is another story.
That's
altogether.
right. So making it do something. I don't know. Put more rocks. I guess that's the bigger problem. The bigger issue. I got this.
All right. You mean the ladder?
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, there was just rocks everywhere, and rocks that you could climb, and I would assume if you could chip away at them and use rock shards from them, and that would help out new players too, I think.
Right. From up here, I can grab the stone bricks. It's awesome.
Yeah. It is awesome. Plain stone wall. All right. And the last thing. Okay, the last couple things, which we've already talked about. Usually paths are not straight, right? They're not. And this was suggested on the forums. We brought it up, but make it so you could have kind of the grass or whatever's around it. Make it so it's not so straight. I don't know if you remember. Trying to think.
Do you mean on paths?
Yeah, so you know how you could have, let's say the most basic example that I know that you'll know is remember Sim City?
Okay.
And the roads that you make, you could have like a T-shape road, or like a straightaway, or a curve like to the left, or a curve to the right, and you could plant them down and make those type of shapes. But imagine that you could have different kinds of forests or grass growing on your path to make it look more natural or seamless inside of your world.
Sort of, it works.
Overgrown paths, overgrown with grass or gravel.
So it'll work
whatever.
Similar to how like the diagonal ones are, where you have like half the tile takes on the properties of the adjacent.
Sure. Yes.
So you're talking about now narrow paths that are skinnier than.
And they look more natural, like overgrown natural paths.
By more natural, you mean like they're
not straight.
They're beaten paths.
Yeah.
mean? Like they're there because people have walked over the tile and it's just like packed that little area.
Yeah.
But it's not like paved or anything.
Yeah, or like gravel or something like that. Or even if you had paved paths that were overgrown with grass on the sides or something to make it look like they're not just so straight.
By the way, are you doing any construction here?
Yes, I am.
Okay, just checking. There you go. Okay,
you can go to the next level. I'll finish this one.
Okay.
And the last one is, of course, we have bridges now. We have like the ability to reach out over, like we don't need dirt bridges and stuff as much as we used to, like before. But I think that we need to transition it also. Wow, I got a couple power outages here. Also into, I love the UPS is here.
Is everything going to be okay?
Yeah, I think so. I think everything that I need is plugged into a UPS. So should have internet, should have a computer on.
Long?
I don't know. Power came back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was just like a couple seconds. So I think that we need the ability to create docks. What do you think?
Docks, yes.
Like imagine we don't need the dirt docks anymore. We could just build, use the bridge system or whatever, but make it so we have the ability to create just a dock that doesn't have walls, no fencing. You can maybe do it one at a time, so like one tile at a time we can build it. So out of wood or something.
Here's something that just like came to mind. Like I know that the problem with it would be the way that the current bridge system works is two people have to be on opposite sides, or at least on Wurm Unlimited you can place a range pole somewhere.
Yeah.
So for this dock system, you would need to have some item that is like out in the water, or a person out in the water, saying, "Here's where the end of it's going." In order for it to...
Or why not just make it in like a modular design? So you have one guy at the edge, as long as the level is straight of where the water is, and there's enough water below it, it's steep enough, then you just are able to start construction on the tile next to you in the water. And when that's done, you walk out and you could build the next tile out.
What if the water's deep enough that you can't like target?
So you're just you target the tile you're standing on, you face in that direction, and you say, I want to start a dock. It does the check for you, and then if it does, then it starts the little does like a incomplete construction kind of model, and then you finish that one, so now you're one tile into the water, and then you walk out and then you right click that dock tile and you say you want to build the next tile out or whatever somehow.
That's interesting. Okay, so
and you just go as far out as your skill will allow you, I guess, whatever skill.
And every so often, like a thing will be dropped down to the bottom. Or is it just going to float? Maybe it's just a floating dock.
It just floats.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, they could put graphics that make it look like it's dropping down, if they want to, or make it a floating dock. It doesn't matter.
Floating, I think, makes it a lot nicer.
Have a different kinds of models, Yeah. But that would be pretty awesome.
That's interesting. Yeah, and that was a request. I remember somebody suggested that. A while back.
Yeah, because I feel like that's the way that it should be, I think.
Yeah. Totally. So the camping trip was good then.
Yeah, the camping trip was good. We did a lot of canoeing, so like when we went out, it just felt like we were on a rowboat or something in Wurm. Rolling around. Like a lake. Like we were right next to this huge I don't know, really nice lake that was kind of skinny, so you could see the other side and you could see like all around. But it was.
Oh yeah.
We went for like 2 hours, and it was just.
Did you go fishing?
We did go fishing.
Nice. Did you catch anything?
But we didn't catch anything. So, not like Wurm. But it was just as relaxing. I don't know. It reminded me so much of, like, you know, you're looking at the area that we're staying on. And they're like, oh, if we could just like flatten that area out or chop down that tree or something. That was funny. Yeah, but yeah, we came back recently, so it's all fresh in our minds. That's essentially what I thought. I thought of. I hope that they could add something. That'd be awesome. At some point, if I needed something out of all of those things, I would probably, I'd probably want the docks.
Oh yeah,
the docks would be pretty awesome.
Yeah,
to have.
They would be.
All right. So, anyway, that was my trip. But moving on, there was a change to how the corpse permission system.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, like, I guess.
Right. The corpse permission.
The corpse permission systems. I guess this is big. So, what does this mean?
I mean, like we kind of did talk about this already, right, earlier in the episode.
Yeah.
And I mean, all it means is.
Oh yeah, we did talk about this.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
all it means is that you basically have a grace period where if your horse dies and the equipment's on it, it will be, you know, if it was branded and it was off deed, nobody's gonna be able to loot it.
That's right. I thought this
until
was
the rebirth.
A change
but
to
here's the thing. I feel like if you're unlucky, right, and your horse dies right before a reboot, and then
you're screwed. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you're kind of screwed. Like, maybe they could come up with a fix for that.
Yeah.
You know, where they say, "Oh, it can't be done." There's no way it'd be done. But then, like, the next week, it's like, "Wait, we figured it out."
We're just expecting that to happen for everything that they say now that we don't like.
Or maybe if I say it, somebody might go, "Huh, never thought, like, if I could do this, then maybe." But I don't know. I'm not holding my breath. But if somebody were to think about it and figure out a solution for it, that would be awesome.
All right. There was one thing for sure that we brought up a little while ago. And I don't know, you made a suggestion. You said, I wish mining was a little faster, especially when you start out, right? Because why do we need to have 20, what is it, like 20 action timer? It's like the longest action timer for mining.
Right. Yes.
More than any other harvestable skill or action that we have.
Right. Especially when you're starting out, it's quite obvious that mining is something totally different than anything else.
So, and then people did not like that suggestion so much. And what was
here?
Yeah, what was their reason?
Yeah, like, it felt like, I mean, valid reason. They're like, mining has to be hard because otherwise people are just gonna open up tunnels everywhere and make mines all over the place.
Hello,
and
how are you?
You know, it's just gonna make a mess of things. But I don't think that is gonna happen because, you know, I'm not proposing that mining should be really quick for the new player. All I'm proposing is that it shouldn't be 20 seconds and stay 20 seconds until you're like at 20 skill.
Here's the problem with what people are saying. People are like, well, they're just going to open up mine entrances everywhere.
Right.
But to open up mine entrances everywhere, it doesn't take 20 seconds per action. It's not the mining action, it's the tunnel action, which is already really fast. Tunnel actions are actually really fast.
Right. I think
they're not slow.
Start off
they're like chopping wood.
So it might be like 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's already going to be like...
It's already less. So when you said we need to change the mining action timer... Oh, what happened? I need to be a guest of the house called Griffith's Shed.
Oh, I thought I put you on.
You're going to have to add me to the one that you're standing in.
Oh, right. Yes.
As you hold out the range pole. That's kind of cool. Anyway, so by changing the action timer of mining, it wouldn't actually change anything for the tunnel action.
Right. So people can still open up tunnels
just as fast or slow as before. But
in fact, you know what I would suggest is that they increase the tunnel action.
Hello, how are you?
Make it longer to do a tunnel. That'll actually make it harder for people to open up tunnels and make it less desirable to just like randomly open tunnels everywhere.
So you'd almost like switch the action timers.
Pretty much,
like
I guess.
Like,
yeah.
Where tunneling, the action timers for tunneling becomes the action timers for mining, and the action timers for mining would become the action timers for tunneling.
And I'm not even saying that. Like, I feel like it's fair if you make mining start at 20 seconds. But it'd be nice to see some progression. It'd be nice to make it so that, you know, as my skill gets to 5, 10, 15, and 20, that I should be seeing progressively shorter action timers. Just like I do on everything else. And I sure, if you do make this change, it will make it quicker for that new player to mine out their little tunnel hole. But you know, well, like if the person's going to do mining, they're going to do it anyway. It'll save them maybe like, you know, a little bit of time.
It's true.
Right. I'm in a situation where I feel like I can't get over there.
So I'm gonna have to do this all by myself. Is that what you're saying?
Pretty much. How many actions is it?
60.
Wow.
70, 80, 90.
Deep.
About 100.
Wow.
Yeah, it's gonna take a little while. So I'm on my own. There's no other way into this place, is there?
I should have. Wait a minute. Did we connect this?
I don't know.
Yes, we did.
Oh, there you go. So
yes, we did.
Just walk around.
I do recall connecting it.
So, I mean, on top of that, just to direct this conversation a little bit differently.
Okay.
Different direction here. We have all these changes to mining in general, right? Because we have bridges now, housing in mines. You can build fences in mines. With all of these changes, because I remember a long time ago, the hot button topic that we all wanted to see happen in mines was to create 3D mines.
Right.
Everybody wanted 3D mines. Is that even a conversation now?
Right. I don't think so. I mean,
are you happy with the way mines are now that you're not even thinking about 3D mines anymore?
I think that they added so many things to mines to make them feel like they're 3D that I don't think they really need to revisit it. I mean, look at what we're doing right here. We're making something that will feel like it's multi-leveled and, you know, and it'll all be done through the bridges and buildings. And
that's true.
Yeah. I mean, like, if they were to then make it 3D, like the amount of work that it would take after putting in all this infrastructure into the mine, I don't think they need to go any further than this. I mean,
We
there
still
might be some
can't.
people out there who feel like
We still
needs
can't
to.
make a tunnel over another tunnel.
You still can't put bridges over other bridges. Like, there's going to be some restrictions that come with Worm, and it's just sort of like either we can live with them, or it'll mean a fundamental change to the game. Like the developers will have to come up with really
Oh, there goes Adam for a second.
creative idea that they'll face on trying to redo that. Time and all sorts of things. I think we're experiencing the backup. Is that no? Maybe lag.
A little bit of lag. That's okay.
Okay.
You're back.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, the amount of time that it would take for them to create something like this, 3D Minds, might not be worth it anymore. People wouldn't get as much satisfaction as it would take for the years that it would take to implement it.
And also,
If that made sense.
The way it is now, there is so much you can do with mines. Like it just the bridges, especially. I remember when they announced it, and I said it before, my jaw dropped when they announced bridges, and it was like, and by the way, bridges are coming in underground. And then it was like a couple weeks later, and they're in, and it's like, where did that come from, and how did that happen so quick?
Yeah, I don't know. That was kind of crazy.
Was it that they worked on it for a very short period, like a week, and it was like, oh, so and so's working on this. Oh, so and so's got it. Wait a minute, it's in the game. Holy crap!
Like maybe if I just copy and paste this code here, and just, yeah, it's working.
So whoever did that was great work.
Yeah, it was. I feel like miners everywhere are pretty happy. People that wanted to live underground, they're not thinking I need 3D mines now. They're probably like in their minds planning out all their stuff that they're doing.
Right. Yeah.
Building their
There's
giant.
down
Yeah, I have some. I'm
okay.
I'm putting them in right now. So tree collision. We said we would talk about it.
Tree collision, yes.
Okay, here's the deal. When I heard it, because I remember having tree collision in this game,
right,
and just thought it's natural that we hit trees. It's just the way it was, right? That was the game. I didn't think any different. Even olive trees, I wasn't like, oh, these olive trees.
Well, some
actually,
people were.
Yeah, I know people were, but I'm talking about like when we first started the game, we purposefully built next to an olive tree forest.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, we purposely did that. Yeah.
Because it was quite crazy and like great. And I thought if you can't like it's a great way to hide inside of a forest, like hide your deed. And I know a lot of people did. A lot of people used that forest and they cut out a little area and they built a house.
Yeah. I remember like as a new player, it was treacherous. It was a very different time in Wurm back then. Like we went out of the wilderness and it was like treacherous, and we got to the point where there's this like little pond, and we used that pond to get away from mobs. Remember that?
Yeah.
We built up a little, like we had a little fenced area, and it was like, then there was this olive tree forest, and I remember us trying to traverse that olive tree forest, and it was like nightmare. And it sort of like was the board, like we planted our deed right next to it, and we tamed it to our ability. Like we made a path through it. You made a path.
Yeah.
It was the best path through any olive tree forest there ever was, because it was just like this winding, like purposely winding path that you felt lost on, and then it eventually, after like many tiles, it connected to the highway.
Yeah, that's crazy. And people were saying, I know that people were saying that before you couldn't hit an animal, or that a monster was hitting you, or animal that was hitting you.
Yeah.
But they could hit you. I don't remember that. I don't remember.
Right.
In the sense, okay, this is what I remember. I remember that you couldn't tell where it was hitting you from.
Right.
right? Because there was trees everywhere. But you could still hit it back if you
Right.
just figured out which way it was coming from and faced it and got it to like, so you were standing like close enough to it to hit it.
Right. Like there was nothing blocking you.
I don't remember. I could be remembering that wrong.
Like the mob could be on the other side of the tree. You could be on this side of the tree. You could hit it. It could hit you. Like
anyway,
there's
that
nothing
was
to
so.
stop it.
One of the reasons people don't like it, other than the fact that they just think that it's annoying, is that they said that people you would get hit.
Like, should I be going up and getting like different bricks? Like
do we have
bricks?
any different bricks here?
Yeah, they're just not down here.
Okay. Yeah.
Like
Pick one. Pottery.
There's a bunch of stone bricks here. Should I drop them off? There's a bunch of mortar. Should I drop that off?
I don't know if we need a lot of that. Maybe.
Well, we're gonna need mortar for each house. You drop off the mortar here, and then bring back the regular bricks because there's enough regular bricks down there.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, if we had a mortar, let's see. This one has 81. This is not going to sound very good, is it?
It is a little bit of a pain to bring down the cart.
Yeah.
It's better than going back up and then realizing I should have dropped off some mats. I'm going to have to make another trip later.
Oh, listen to that. Wait, what am I hitting? One mortar, support beams. I'm hitting the support beams.
So I remember when tree collision disappeared.
Yeah.
And it was not like, I remember thinking like that just seemed like a lame change. You know, like all of a sudden you can just walk through trees, and it felt like a piece of the game was just like completely stripped away. A certain element of it was like no longer did you have to worry about that olive tree forest blocking your way.
Yeah, I kind of remember feeling the same way, and I guess they took it away for. I thought it was like bridges or something.
No, you know what it was? It was they were revamping the collision system in general.
Oh, that's what.
Remember, like boats used to not make it through boat mines properly.
Yeah.
Like you'd be going towards a boat mine, all of a sudden the boat is on the mountain and you're in the mine without your boat.
Yep. Yeah, I remember that.
So they then they completely changed the whole collision system. They worked out like basically from the player's perspective, you didn't notice it, except for in circumstances like this where the boat doesn't like actually makes it into the mine. Or another thing that they added was you can actually stand on top of walls now, like tall walls and fences and stuff. Like we showed that in the Labyrinth, where if you're on a steep slope, you can actually like hop over stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Like they changed the whole collision system, and then with that, all of a sudden, tree collision was gone. It like made no sense. It's like they needed to get rid of it for some reason, so that you know they said at the time that they'll put it back. They just need to disable it for now.
So now, so they made some of the fat trees skinnier. To take away the whole annoying aspects of them blocking the path if you were trying to walk through the forest.
Right.
But people are scared. People are scared of going out, or at least they're saying that they're scared to go out and explore and adventure.
But you know what? That scaredness was what attracted me to
that is
game.
What attracted us to this game.
Like we were totally scared of that forest, and we stayed away from it, and you know, until we got the skills enough to tame it. Like that was part of the game for us.
Okay, so it was in the game. We remember it being in the game, but how about the people that don't remember it being in the game? How about they joined after it was already disabled? Right. What is like the benefit to them?
You know, they've never experienced it, so they don't have a connection.
Yeah, it's more immersive. Like you're not supposed to walk through trees, right?
Right.
You can,
and you know, like people are worried. I'm sure that it's gonna, you know, people are just worried.
and yet nothing to worry about.
I completely understand the worry. They changed it actually so that olive trees are going to be skinnier.
Yeah.
And what else is going to be skinnier? Walnut trees, or was it chestnut trees? There was another tree.
The fat ones.
Yeah, that blocks your. So all the ones that can block you, they're gonna narrow them so that no matter what,
which they've done that,
you should be able to make it through.
Yeah. And of course, trees. I mean, back a while ago, they always helped you if you were trying to climb like a mountain or something. You see like a tree, and it could help you regain stamina.
Right. You can balance yourself. It was actually a little tricky. It seemed like a bug to me because it was very easy to slip off either way. But there was like one sweet spot that if you landed right there, you could stand and you would regenerate your stamina. People would build fences.
Yeah. That's true.
And I think you still can build a fence.
Yeah, I think so.
And you climb, build another fence, and but you could do that with trees before without a fence for the.
I wish they would just give us some kind of like mining or climbing tools that we could use.
Right.
Turn it into like a skill. That'd be cool instead of building fences.
So how would that work exactly?
I don't know. I guess you'd have some tools and you'd be able to use them to climb so that you could regain stamina if you used it.
Okay. I see. Okay. Yeah, like there's a ton of like mountains
that are
super tall. And people love like
it still take a long time to climb it,
even top of a mountain. That seems like the dream for many people.
Yeah. All right. Well,
if there was a skill,
I think this was one of the biggest arguments was that people said they're afraid to go through the forests with tree collision because they're afraid to die. Essentially, they're afraid to not be able to see what's killing them.
Right.
That because monsters, they can just, before we had tree collision, but the mobs could just walk right through the tree and hit you.
Right.
They weren't bound by those same rules. Buddha, who for people that don't know, is the lead developer.
Lead developer,
right? Team lead, something. He responded to those people.
Right.
So what did he say? You remember?
So let's see. I don't remember off the top of my head. However, I have gotten it down right here. So, this is what Buddha said, and it was in response specifically to the question: are you going to address the issue of mobs having the same restrictions as we do? Meaning, mobs running through trees in a straight line, while players must run a zigzag obstacle course. Okay, so people are worried that you're going to have to now zigzag around trees, and that will take you longer, and a mob is able to just walk right through trees, which they can do currently and have always done, even when there was tree collision, and will probably continue to do so. And so Buddha responded saying, yes, actually, somewhere in the list of 50 other things I want to do, when I get some time to go back onto creature movement in the near future, I have a plan to give creatures a way to path through a single tile in a similar way to how they have to path through an area. Long story short, for creatures, this will act sort of like breaking down a single tile into a grid where the positions of the trees and whatever other undesirables will be visible to the creature, and they'll have to plan their movement through the tile using that information. Payoff of this will be that creatures act a bit more realistic, having to smartly path their way around trees and obstacles in the same way a player has to, instead of ghosting directly towards their goal as they do currently. So this is to give creatures a little bit more AI,
smarts,
so that they can respond to trees specifically in this example, and other obstacles, so they, and give them better pathing. So it's actually kind of interesting and good to know that Buddha's thinking about it.
Yeah, which is great. Like,
although the way he said it was like, Yeah, but soon. TM.
It's one of the things that he is looking at and hopefully eventually working on.
Right.
I don't know. We'll see what happens with the whole tree collision thing. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, we surrounded ourselves with trees that we can't even see through.
Right.
We seem to be doing that a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but
Yeah, like this one, the fir trees.
yeah, even like when we first started, we had no armor, no skill. We still did that. I
Right.
think maybe we just like the adventure.
Yeah.
Maybe we need a little bit more fear from the forests, from the creepy forests. I think when we first started, our hearts were like pounding just walking through a forest.
Totally.
And we couldn't see anything, and we were like vigorously waving our mouse cursor back and forth until we could see the outline of an animal
Yeah.
so that we could go around it. Oh,
Totally. This was before we could fight anything.
yeah.
We were like that for a long time.
Here's the deal. I don't think anybody was questioning tree collision before they turned it off.
Right. Totally. People were complaining about olive trees, but in a good, healthy way.
Yeah,
I'm going to chop down this entire olive tree forest,
which is
making my way through it.
which is an option, right?
Which is an option, yeah.
Yeah. I think that if they turn it on and time goes by, again, it'll stop being an issue, and we will just accept it as part of the Lands of Wurm, just like we accept that we cannot walk through walls.
Right. Totally.
If you could walk through walls, and then they said, no, we're gonna make it so you can't walk through walls anymore, would we have the same argument? I don't know. The same debate.
Although, people complained when they got rid of tree collision. In the same way, I'm sure people would complain if they got rid of walking, like being blocked by walls.
Well, change is just hard to accept sometimes. I think that's just the way it is. Yeah, I don't know. Let us know what you guys think. Especially, I want to hear about this whole tree collision thing.
Yeah.
Hopefully, by the time you're commenting on this, it's already in the game and you could just experience it yourself.
Right.
I can't wait to experience it myself one more time. People like the idea of being able to move their carts in any whatever direction that they want and then never get stopped by a tree.
Right.
Which is something that we learned when we first started not to do. Right.
Right. We learned how.
It was one of the benefits of a road, of building a highway.
It was one of the skills that you had to learn. In the road, yeah, definitely a benefit of the road.
One of the skills to go traverse a forest was to learn how to traverse through the trees and not get stuck.
It's just experiencing a bug that not allowing me to get. Okay, whew. I was afraid that the wagon was going to get stuck on that.
That was a quick fix for you. Yeah, so I think that's enough for tree collision. I hope that it comes soon so we could test it. It sounds like it is within the next week or two. So this goes to so change topic completely. I was on the forums and I was reading the suggestion forums like I often do sometimes. And I came to one that I thought was very interesting, and it said, I can't remember what the topic was, but maybe I can find it.
Will we need marble?
Possibly.
Do sandstone?
Let's just bring one down
bricks
for now.
How many bricks of each? One? Well, I mean, one crate?
I guess so. Yeah. So it basically said, allow pet dogs to help with digging skill.
Okay.
And at first I'm like, that's kind of a crazy idea. Like, what does that mean? Like a dog would just be like digging like you would, and like how would that work? Would you just get like an extra dirt on the ground or something?
Right.
And then I stopped and I thought about that, and I realized, okay, Wurm itself has a great kind of ecosystem or skill system or just system in general when it comes to animals. Like people like the animals system to a point. Like they like the idea. When we talk about it, we say creatures age, and then you could take them. There's like male, female, and you can mate them, and you have to keep track of who you're mating with who, and like it's like this big mini game that people like. There's all different types of animals that you can do this with.
Mm-hmm.
But the animal taming side of things is not developed really at all.
Yeah, like you can tame them, but
what benefit do you get? Not
right.
much. And it's kind of like it feels like an unfinished system. And I thought this would be a great idea for that system in particular. If we elaborated on that and said, if all animals had some different kinds of abilities that could help you with. So let's spitball here. Let's say each animal would have 5 different things it could help you with. In the sense, let's just pick dogs because we were talking about it. Dogs could help you dig. Let's say 1 dirt every whatever, depending on. Or it could.
So the dog would dig, and it will
with you.
Put the dirt on the ground or whatever.
Put the dirt on the ground, whatever.
Okay.
Or, based on where you're standing, or it would give you X amount of digging skill, extra bonus, because you've tamed it and it's came with you. So
as opposed to it physically doing something to the world, like it just gives you a bonus
or whatever,
for having it tamed.
Or maybe it's something else. Maybe it's like a completely different skill that it helps you with. And you can choose, let's say 5. Let's say dogs have this, and this they can help you with. And deers could have this they can help you with. And cows would have this. They're like just a bunch of different things. And so if we're building a whole system and we just kind of categorized every animal, and as you're taming, let's say each animal that you're taming could give you like loyalty points or something. I think there's already something in the game kind of that tells you how loyal that animal is to you.
Okay.
Is that right? There's like a system that if you keep taming it over and over, it becomes more loyal,
you're right.
And it lasts longer or something, right? So imagine in this system, you could make as many animals as loyal to you as possible, right? From its birth, you could just gain loyalty from it.
Okay.
And it becomes like your friend, like your animal friend, your animal partner. And you could do this for as many animals as you want, but you could only partner with one animal at a time.
Okay.
Or like activate one animal at a time. You can only gain benefits from one animal at any given time, depending on, and as each animal is like more loyal to you, you spend more time with it, you get, like a Tamagotchi or whatever, it becomes more loyal to you, and you get better benefits. But at its birth, or whenever you start this, you have to choose which benefit that you would want this animal to have good skill at.
So if you want a choice involved,
you have to choose. So it's like there's 5 things, let's say, that it could benefit you, but you choose one, and then it has to get good at that over time. As soon as, and so it can't do all 5 for you, and it can't learn something else once you've trained it, once you taught it something. Or if you did, it would have to start from the beginning and learn.
I see.
That one. to give you benefit from. Once that animal dies, it's like loyalty and all that stuff that you build up is gone.
Okay.
You have to go to another animal. You have to start again.
So
the
you'd
process,
have to care for it and make sure it
lasts.
Yeah.
The process again would have to start like it would have to be fairly quick, right?
But you were saying like you would want to make it so that you can do this with multiple animals.
Yeah, for as many as you want.
Okay, it's just that if you don't spend, you have to spend the time on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So it would be more than what's going on now. It wouldn't just be like feed it, be like over and over. The system would have to become bigger than that. Maybe it is like, I mean, if we wanted to do it the way that Wurm already works, is that maybe it's the animal tells you what it needs and then you provide it, and it could be like 5 or 6 things that it needs. It needs water, so you like give it water, and then now it needs this. It's like imping an item, but in this case you're like imping the animals, like
right, like grooming brush could be part of it. Yeah.
And then on top of that, it would need to pick a skill and need to get good at it somehow. It would be another type of game that it could level up in that and help you. So
I have to say that bringing this wagon down is a big pain in the butt.
Hopefully this is the last time then.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Have to bring it back up at least one more time.
What are you thinking about something like a system, a taming revamp?
I don't know. I like the idea. I think that it will encourage people to increase their taming and work on that, because there is definitely motivation to getting like pets. People love having pets. You know, even people who aren't into the farming or animal gathering right now, but if you told them, hey, you know, you can tame a wolf, for example, or a dog, you can have a dog and it will give you bonus benefits if you work on your relationship with this pet. I think people would be totally motivated. So
one thing
I don't know.
that I wouldn't want is to make it so everyone has a friggin' pet following it around at all times. Like
at all times,
like World of Warcraft. But
everybody will be playing with pets, but and using them.
I don't think that would happen, and for a number of reasons. One, the pets die.
Right.
They
have to spend
are vulnerable. You wouldn't just bring it out everywhere. You would only use that particular pet whenever you needed him or her.
Now, there's ways though to like extend animals' lifetimes substantially.
Yeah, but animals could get attacked. Your pet could get attacked and get killed.
Right, especially if it's tamed, right?
Yeah, so why bring it out with you? Why bring it out to like a party or whatever when you're not going to dig or you're not going to blacksmith or whatever?
See, then this is going to make a big like detriment to the system, because not many people are going to be interested in spending the time to tame a pet.
But I still think that you can tune the system enough to make it so it's not doesn't take so long the next time.
Okay.
You start with the pet, you train it, and you get it to a specific level. I mean, it's like, think of it like blacksmithing. If you spent the time on blacksmithing, so if a newbie just started and they're like, okay, give you a 90 whatever pickaxe, you know, make that. It's going to take them months to make a 90 pickaxe.
Right.
Maybe years. But as soon as they get that skill, to make the next one would take very short amount of time.
Right, I see. So you could like imp a pet up to level 50.
Yeah, like, but you just have to keep doing it. Like, as that pet gets old, then you get the next one, and you spend the time to imp that one to whatever you wanted it to be, and then it has to gain its skill, and that process has to go like fairly quick. I mean, it's time,
right?
But it gets less as your skill gets higher. That'd be an interesting way of like bonding with pets. We don't really have a system like that right now. So pet taming, animal taming, That'd be kind of cool. Get a nice UI there so you know which ones are yours that you kind of are training, or that you've cared for, or that you've not just tamed. I don't like that word now. Taming. it's like becomes
befriended.
Yeah, befriended. It's like,
yeah,
it recognizes you. It's your pet.
Oh, I forgot mixed grass, but we can carry that.
That's okay. I don't know. Anyway,
that seems like a very interesting system.
Yeah, I hope that something like that could come in, and something more versatile for animal husbandry can come in alongside that. That would definitely be pretty cool. But what did we get done in this video? We managed to mine upwards and create this vaulted ceiling. One thing that I really like, this is the first time I'm seeing what this will look like with all the different doors. So imagine we've completed all of these walls, and each wall looks like a different color, a different kind of wall type. But look at that, it's like seamless.
You know what I just realized? Rendered. You take a regular stone wall and you put clay onto it.
That's right. You can just bring some clay down.
I did.
Nice.
I'm putting some materials here, there, and the other place.
How awesome is this? Even though we created the vaulted ceiling, and we still imagine this whole place just has different doors that are all different colors and different types. This place is going to look awesome.
Wait, there is one way that's not going to take a building. To figure out which way that is.
The one that's 3 tiles long. 1, 2, 3. This one.
There's another one that's going to be 3 tiles long, is there not? Yes.
Uh-oh.
I think it's... Right. So this one over here is going to be a building. The other one.
This one's going to be, not building.
Entrance.
Yeah, to somewhere else in this place.
So I'll make this one marble over here.
But it does mean that we have a lot more to go, because we just spent almost, I don't know, hour and a half, and we got 1 building done out of 7 buildings.
A lot of it was getting the mats down here.
So we'll just keep continuing off the air. Thank you everyone for joining us. Hope you had fun talking about Wurm, or listening to us talk about Wurm, and you can join the discussion. I don't know. We'll see you guys in the next episode. We'll be back next week with something else. I'm sure we'll be continuing this labyrinth. I can't wait to get it done. We'll try our best. We'll see you guys later. Keep on worming. Take care, everyone. Hello everyone, thanks for watching our video. We are still in the mine. We're still working our way up, creating all these buildings, but we want to take some time and thank our patrons, and we do have an announcement before then. Adam?
Right, so I want to give a big special thanks to all of our patrons. And to give a shout out to Valiance and Kaylee, Koyoko Lioness, Ian, Deathwind 21, Daspra, Revnik, Validate, Absorbic, and Glory. Thank you so much for your support. And if you haven't yet already done so, go visit our Patreon page. You can find it in the comments below.
Yeah, I think it's patreon.com/factionalfight, and we are very close to our next goal, I think, of 20 patrons. I think only 1 away, and we did say that once we reach the next goal, we will have some kind of special event. And what we're going to do this time around is we'll probably make a special video of some kind, as well as a video that deals with a competition, not competition, a draw. We're going to have a draw, and that draw will be, I believe we have a few copies of Wurm Unlimited. We'll be giving those away. So, yeah, one more person will have the draw. We'll have instructions in a video that we'll create in the future once we reach 20 patrons, and we'll have, if you're one of the 20, you'll be entered into that draw. So thanks so much, everyone. I'll see you guys in our next video. Keep on worming. Take care, everyone.